Hello friends, my name is Atul. Welcome to my channel. So in this particular video we'll be starting off from Article 3 of ISP. If you're new to the channel, then please subscribe to my channel and please hit the bell icon. Also at the end of the video, if you like the content, then please hit the like button. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Alright, Article number 3, point number 1, complying presentation under a standby. Now what it says is, for a presentation to be complying under a standby, 3 conditions have to be met. If you look at broader picture, first is time, place and medium. Time means the expiry date and business hours. The presentation is to be made on or before the expiry date and within the business hours. Place means the address at which the presentation is to be made. Next is the medium, means paper or electronic. So broadly, for a presentation to be complying, in first place it has to fulfill this criteria. Then comes what are the terms and conditions of the standby and whether the presentation or the drawing is complying with those terms and conditions or not. But broadly it has to be presented within the time, at the place and in the medium which is designated in the standby. Next is 3.02, what constitutes a presentation. So whenever a document is presented under the standby, that document constitutes a presentation. So if my standby is calling for, suppose my standby is calling for an invoice and a demand, any one of them, the moment it is presented under the standby, will constitute a presentation. Whether it is complying or not, that is a different story. But what constitutes a presentation? Any document which is presented under a standby, whether it is complete presentation or a partial presentation, any document is, whenever it is presented, it will constitute a presentation. Next is identification of a standby. So for example, my applicant and beneficiary have 3 standbys issued by the same issuer between them. Now beneficiary presents the documents. These 2 documents are called for under every undertaking. Beneficiary presents these 2 documents. Now the issuer does not know what is the reference number of the undertaking under which these documents are presented. So if this particular reference number is not known, the issuer will not start checking the document with respect to each of the undertaking. You have to tell the issuer so that the respective checking can get started. However, ISP also gives a provision that the issuer can try to find out the reference on its own. How it can find out? The invoice would be having some nature of goods or some contract reference that would be different, that might be different in each of the undertakings. From that, the issuer can try to figure it out that this particular presentation is under which undertaking. But if the issuer is trying to do that, then the start date of the start date for checking the documents will only be valid once issuer finds the reference number. So for example, if this presentation was done on 16th of November and the issuer finds the actual reference on 20th of November, then the day 1 will be shifted accordingly. Day 1 will not start from 17th, which would have been ideally if the demand is presented on 16th, but now when the issuer finds the actual reference, accordingly the day 1 will start for checking the documents. Next is 3.04, which deals with where and to whom the presentation is to be made. Now we have an example. A requested bank X to issue the undertaking to the beneficiary. So one way is this direct issuance. Another case wherein bank X sent the undertaking to bank Y added the confirmation and sent the undertaking to B. So this is another way in which the undertaking was issued. So if the beneficiary wants to present the documents, in this particular case, beneficiary will present the documents at the address which is mentioned in the undertaking, or if no address is mentioned in the undertaking, then at the place which issued this particular undertaking. So suppose this particular branch of bank X was in the location of the beneficiary itself, then beneficiary has to present the undertaking at the branch from where this particular undertaking was issued. Else the presentation is to be made at the address which is mentioned in this undertaking. So similarly, if the undertaking is confirmed, then the beneficiary will present the documents either then the beneficiary present the documents at the location which is mentioned in the undertaking. If this is not there, then the beneficiary will present the documents from the place that undertaking was confirmed. Now in case of confirmation, beneficiary has the right to present the documents either to the confirmed either to the bank which confirmed the undertaking or to the issuer. And at any place the beneficiary can present the documents. Now if the address which is mentioned in the undertaking is not complete, or the address is not clearly mentioning to whom the presentation is to be made, then the beneficiary can present the documents at whatever address that is mentioned in the undertaking. Or if the undertaking is designating a special person or another person who is authorized to receive a presentation, beneficiary can present the documents to that entity. Or if another place is designated in the standby, then the beneficiary can present the documents to that particular place. Now 3.05, when a timely presentation is made. So any presentation is deemed to be made in a timely manner if it is made on or before the expiry date. Next, if the presentation is made on a particular date but which is after the business hours, then it will be deemed to be received on the next working day. So basically you have to present the demand, you have to present the documents on or before the expiry date, and on whichever date or whichever day you present the documents, that has to be within the working hours or within the banking hours or within the business hours. So friends, here we complete today's training session. If you liked the session, then please hit the like button. Have a great day. Thank you.